Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the commencement of the 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita today. So let us start with our usual Mangalacharanam prayers to invoke the blessings of the Lord for the success of our efforts to know Him better. Without His mercy, there is no way we can know anything about Him. So let us pray that our efforts should attract His mercy, so that we should be able to understand something about Him. Today is the commencement of a very important chapter, the 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So let us start with Mangalacharanam prayers. Let us sincerely pray from the bottom of the heart to the Guru Parampara, to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Panchatattva, and Lord Sri Krishna to bless us with success in our efforts. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं श्री ओं तत्सत् सर्वोपनिषतो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् हरे कृष्ण. Once again, a warm welcome to all participants on behalf of ISKCON Chennai and on my personal behalf. We are entering into the amazing secrets of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The message the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has directly spoken to all of us through the medium of Arjun. He is actually talking to us. But because we are not ready to see and hear him directly because of our impurities, he is using the medium of Arjun, who is his loving dear friend, and through him he is conveying this message to us. So the ultimate secrets of everything is contained in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So once we can get access to the mercy of the Lord through the Vaishnavas, through the Bhaktas, through the Acharyas, Parampara, then we are ready to enter into the secrets. So that is how fortunate we are today, and we are entering into the 7th chapter. All of you who have been traveling with me in this journey up to the 6 chapters, you are all so very fortunate. We are entering into the 7th chapter. As I always say, Bhagavad Gita is like a treasure box. The lid is the first 6 chapters, the bottom is the 13 to 18 chapter, middle 6 chapters, 7 to 12 contain the treasure, and we are entering into the treasure. So, once again, I warmly welcome all of you. Before we proceed further, can I ask you a question? Uh, Before you came to these classes, uh, what was the goal of your life? I request you to be frank and free. We are all sailing in the same boat, but it is still nice to get reconfirmed by other participants what we were and what we have become now. What was your goal of life before you came to know about Bhagavad Gita? Hare Krishna. Please unmute yourself. Or is the question itself very difficult? Was there any goal at all? Did we think of having a goal for our life? Yes, Mohan Das Prabhu. Hari Bol.
As after joining part of this,
Kindly others unmute yourself. You can, once Mohan Das Prabhu finishes, I request all of you to mute yourself. Yes, Prabhuji. Please. Please continue. Mohan Das Prabhu, I don't hear you. Yeah.
which I faced, I'm able to solve it always and maintain the equilibrium. Equilibrium is equipost situation.
Hmm.
I feel after entering these problems, and impurities also are being lowered. It is being retrieved off. from my
Yes,
body
Mohandas Prabhu,
and all.
I accept that. But my question is
Okay.
a specific goal. Was there a goal in your life? And if there was a goal, what was it?
That is to go back to God. Go back
Kindly mute yourself. Let Mohandas Prabhu speak. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
to go back to Godhead. That is the goal of mine.
Was it
And
known to
I am
you?
becoming.
Was this goal known to you before you came to Krishna consciousness?
No, Prabhuji. No.
Yes.
Now
So
only I feel after.
what was your goal before
Bhagavad-
you came to Krishna consciousness?
Before that, enjoying as I please.
But
That's all.
enjoyment is something like a day-to-day activity. But was there something like a goal
That is
behind?
material pleasures,
Yes. Yes.
material
Thank you.
desires and pleasure.
Yes. Thank you.
Now it is
Thank
being
you.
controlled.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I want to know.
Thank you, brother.
How many of us had a goal
It
before?
is
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Lakshmi
yes.
Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. That is what whatever duties as a human being or as a mother or a lady or whatever it is,
Yes.
do your duties and tread in the right path and ultimately you perish. That's it. We never knew that Krishna is so close to us. He's within us. This was only brought to my, according to me, it is only because of Krishna consciousness. I came to know that Krishna is inside me, within me, around me, and I have to go back to him. That he is my supreme father. Because I had a deviated.
Mataji, let us stick to that part now. What was my goal before I came? Yeah, after I came, I know everything else.
My goal was doing my duties, and ultimately my end will come. I'll go away. That's it.
That's it. That means no goal.
No,
goal.
not at all. Not at all, Prabhu.
Just
No.
to fight the struggle of existence. That's all.
Yeah, that is
struggle
it.
for existence. That's all.
Very true.
Thank you.
That-
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Sabra-
So, who else will speak now? Sumi
Hare Krishna
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hello.
Yeah, can I say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Prabhuji, it's just like what you said, just to get along with the daily things. It was before coming to Krishna consciousness. And though as a family, we were exposed to spirituality as such, it's not like we were doing only material things, but not like this concerted effort. It is a concerted effort with some knowledge right now. Oh, we are doing this for Krishna. This pleases Krishna.
Let me
Things
intervene,
like that.
Mataji. Let me intervene. You said there was a spiritual dimension also in your life, but
Yes.
did it give you a goal?
No. That's what I'm saying. There is no concerted effort. No,
Then it is not
towards the
spiritual.
goal. We move,
If it
we do
doesn't give
things.
you a goal, it's not.
Yes.
You have not entered the spiritual life. Yes.
Okay. So there was no goal and there was not this much of depth of knowledge also, like why we are doing things, what we are doing, towards what. That is
Thank
the
you,
thing.
Mataji. Let's go
Okay.
to who else? Tapas Kumar Rai wanted to say something. Yes, Prabhu. Tapas Kumar Rai, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. Who else? Who else would like to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, of the this thing that we are so happy to see you again, Prabhuji. We really missed you for such a long time.
Hare, same with me. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I think that before I started interacting with Krishna conscious people and with you and Sangh and the overall the people, the focus was mainly on professional life. It is not that I did not have a goal, but the focus was purely materialistic and purely professional to become good in the profession, and just everything was focused on that side only. Do no wrong was always there, but it was not directed at anything. Now, after coming here, the difference is that I realize that we can still continue to do the work, but with a focus and for somebody, for the Lord. So that has been a major direction, and that has given a major goal in life, that why we are working. Well, earlier we were working for material gains. Now we are like sort of accepting whatever the Lord is giving as a fruits that He is giving. It is not mine. So that has, though I continue to do the same work, but qualitatively it has become very different. That the consciousness wise inside, when I do the work, the feeling is very different. It gives me much less stress. And we always, even if I forget, then we tend to thank God again, that, oh my God, I forgot that we are His servants. That thought keeps on coming back. So that sort of gives us a direction that ultimately, that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that thing has probably, I think we have to take many lives, but that ultimately, hopefully, the Lord will bless us, and we'll believe that Vasudeva Sarvamiti.
See, you have got a goal now. You don't know when you will achieve it. That doesn't matter. That doesn't
Journey
matter at all. You have a goal now. It has given meaning to your existence. Doesn't matter how many lifetimes later we will achieve it. As you were saying earlier, your goals were professional. But what is this professional goal? When you look ahead and ahead and ahead, you look at death at some point of time. And before death, you look at invalidity, infirmity. Who is going to look after you at that point of time? You are now planning, oh, when I am old, who will take care of me? Should I need insurance? Should I have a big bank balance? Or should I cultivate some relationships so that they will really care for me? If at all, if you look far ahead like that, you would only think, oh, in my old age, who will take care of me? Otherwise, you simply blind yourself to your future, and you look at the immediate future goals of professional life or whatever. So, yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Prabhuji, it has given, I would say, it has made us abhayam. It has given us that bhaya. That bhaya is gradually taking the bhaya away from us. That what will happen in my old, we are ready. Whatever happens, we are ready. And that you have also said, that the art of living is the art of living. So always be ready.
Yeah.
When Krishna calls us, we'll go.
Yeah. Actually, Prabhupada would say, actually it is in the scriptures, something called Pavarga. Our life on this planet is called Pavarga. Pa means Parishram. First it is hard work. Then Fena. Fena means you work so hard that you are frothing at your mouth. Sometimes you see the bull pulling a very heavy weight in the car and it is frothing at the mouth. We work like that. Parishram, Fena. Then Bhaya. Despite working so hard, till you are frothing at the mouth, there is still fear. What will happen to me? So like that, Bhaya. And then the fourth Bha, I'm not getting it immediately. If anybody can help me with the fourth Bha, Bhai, one more. And finally, Ma is Mrityu. So work, more hard work, still you have fear, and ultimately death. This is Pavarga. Life on this material world is Pavarga. But when you go beyond material world, that means you go even beyond Swarga. Because even in Swarga, this Pavarga is there. Even in Brahmaloka, this Pavarga is there. But you have to go beyond material creation. Then you go to Apavarga. So, we say that Bhakti is Apavarga Vartmani. It gives you this special blessing of going beyond the Pavarga, Apavarga. That is considered as the goal of life, typically. But Krishna consciousness has given you something higher than that. Not simply going beyond the Pavarga, but entering into Krishna Prema. That highest goal that we have now. And the more we come to know about the activities of the souls which are in Krishna Prema, we are becoming more and more eager to achieve that. So we have a goal, and the goal begins to shine brighter and brighter and brighter for us. When it is shining brighter, that means we are getting closer. When it is too far away, it doesn't shine so much. And at that time, we are not really struggling hard. But when you're getting closer, the light is shining brighter. Then you get so much hope, utsaha, nischaya, dhairya, and you start traveling towards that faster. So we have entered into the genuine path of our journey. We came here to this material world, but we didn't even realize that it is a journey to something. But now we are on the path. We have been put on the path, and the goal is shown to us. Now, as we get closer and closer, it is going to shine brighter and brighter. And then one day we will enter it. Doesn't matter how many lifetimes it will take. Doesn't matter. As our Jana Prabhu very beautifully put it, we know it is there, and it doesn't matter to me when I will reach it. But just to know that I'm working purposefully towards a goal that is going to fill me with joy and happiness eternally, that is giving me so much happiness. Just to think about it is so much happiness. I don't know if you heard this Akbar Birbal story. Akbar gave a competition. What was the competition? It was the winter month, December, and it was so cold. So Akbar had a thought: can anyone stay in a cold pond, in the middle of the pond, immersed neck deep for the whole night? I will give a big reward to him. Nobody came forward, but one poor man came forward, and he took the challenge. And he stood there all night. And then he came to collect the reward. But Akbar was so surprised. How did you do it? How did you do it? The man said, far away in the distance, I saw one small flame, tiny flame. I kept focusing my mind on that. I was only looking at the flame. And then somehow the chillness of the water was bearable to me because I was focusing on that flame. Then one of the cruel ministers of Akbar said, he has violated the conditions of the competition. He said, don't give him the reward. He has violated. The poor man was so heartbroken. Then, of course, the story continues. That's out of the syllabus. So, for now, by focusing on that light, this man was able to bear the suffering of the present. You will remember the story, the marshmallow experiment of Stanford. They were thinking, if I can wait for half an hour, I will have a handful of chocolates. Some children saw this picture in their mind, one handful of chocolates half an hour later, and they could withhold the pressure for immediate sense enjoyment by collecting one chocolate. But the other children were unable to visualize what they would get after waiting for half an hour. They could not visualize, they could not get faith in that visualization. They were not sure whether I will get it or not. Somebody may cheat me out of it, I may not get it. So, this marshmallow experiment and this Akbar Birbal story, what they illustrate, they tell us that Utsaha, we should be enthusiastic, Nischaya, we should be determined, and Dhairya, we should have patience. When I will get it, I don't know. Prabhuji said, I don't know how many lifetimes it will take. I don't mind. Because the goal is so amazing, so wonderful. I will wait for it. So that is what we have got. So all of us, we have entered into Bhagavad Gita. We are poised for higher and higher and higher things in the days to come. So with this small preamble, I am entering into 7th chapter. I don't have a watch or clock or timer with me. So I want one of you to alert me when the time is up. This is an amazing chapter. I won't be able to close. So I request all of you to have patience. Let us enter into the chapter right away. Hare Krishna. So in this chapter, we are going to see Krishna as the person, the supreme personality of Godhead. Krishna, the person, the amazing person. When you and I are asked to visualize a person, we will visualize somebody, some form, but we will know that in the past he was a baby, in the future he'll become an old man, and then future he'll become invalid, and one day he will die. So any form we visualize along with the changes, the past, the present, and the future. And the future is invariably death. So that is why the Mayavadis, they don't accept God as a person. For them, it is so very difficult to understand God as a person. They say, form means perishable. All form is perishable. But now in the 7th chapter, Krishna is going to mercifully reveal himself to us. That not only I am a person, but I am an eternal person going to come. So let us start with shloka number 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Sakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Jnasasi Tachrunu. Yes. So the Lord Krishna said, by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, the person Krishna, full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, the person, the form, that's what we are talking about. With mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Krishna, knowing Krishna in full means you know not only Krishna, but you also know Paramatma. You also know Brahman. His all the dimensions of the Supreme Lord you will know. As Brahman, you know he is all pervasive. He is all the universes, all creation, the entire material creation is Brahman. Brahman is the reality, is the essence of all creation. That is also Krishna. Then the life that permeates all the creation, the Virat Rupa, the life which is behind everything, that is called Paramatma. That is also Krishna. But at the same time, the Supreme Lord Bhagavan, who is full of all six opulences, that amazing form that resides in Goloka, Vaikuntha, that is also Krishna. So Krishna says, by practicing yoga, yoga means union, connection, linking, yoking, in full consciousness of me. If you practice this yoga, you attach your mind to me, then you will know me in full. So Prabhupada, from this shloka, he says a lot of things here, but Prabhupada picks up this word, tat shrunu. Yata jnasasi tat shrunu, the last word in the shloka. Tat shrunu means hear. Tat means that. That which will help me know me, help you to know me fully, that you hear from me. So Prabhupada said, hearing is the process. For all spirituality, hearing is the process. That's why, the sound comes from the sky, Akash. Akash is the first creation, the material creation. From that comes sound. So sound is the ultimate spiritual manifestation in the material world. So tat shrunu, shravanam, hearing. So hearing is the process. Prabhupada remembers when he was a householder, his guru was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was not always able to meet him. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a great guru. He was surrounded by thousands of disciples, many of them sannyasis, brahmacharis. Prabhupada was a householder. He could not often go and meet him. But whenever he got a chance, he would go. So on one such occasion, Prabhupada was sitting and there was going to be a lecture by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And there was an announcement to the audience. Today, our Maharaj is going to give class, but those who want to go to the Vishnu temple, they have a special deity alankar there, special darshan. So those of you who want to go, you can go. Those who want to hear, you can stay here. You can stay here. This was the announcement. And within minutes, all the sannyasis were gone. Most of the brahmacharis were gone. Hardly 3-4 people were sitting in that hall with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And one of them was Abhay Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati noticed that. So a little while later, our Prabhupada Abhay was in Allahabad. He was running a pharmacy. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had come there to open a temple in Allahabad. So some of the disciples of Saraswati Thakur approached him and requested, we want you to initiate Abhay. Please initiate Abhay. Saraswati Thakur said, yes, I will initiate him. Why? He likes to hear. He noted. He likes to hear. So that is important. Of course, like to hear means not all nonsense. Today there is so much nonsense around us everywhere. But liking to hear the spiritual subject matter, more especially about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna's own words in the form of Bhagavad Gita or description of Krishna and his pastime in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. If you have a taste for hearing this, then your spiritual path is open. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur not only gave him the first initiation. He also gave him the Brahmin thread in that very first meeting. Two initiations he gave simultaneously. Usually, second initiation takes some time. And people were surprised when Saraswati Thakur said, I know him. Actually, Abhay had hardly visited Saraswati Thakur a few times. He was a busy householder, having a family responsibilities, business responsibilities. Hardly a few times. And he had thousands of disciples. But still, Saraswati Thakur said, yes, I know him. He likes to hear. So that is what we all need to develop. We should develop the eagerness to hear. We should develop the eagerness to hear the right subject matter. And we should develop the taste to hear from the right sources. Not that everywhere I am willing to hear. Somebody, Mayavadi, is talking, somebody is speaking, scholar is speaking. Somebody who doesn't believe in Krishna as a person, they are speaking. Some Mayavad philosophy. We should not go there. That is not hearing. Hearing about Krishna is really hearing. Otherwise, our holes, ear holes, are compared to rat holes in which snakes live. Those ears which are not dedicated to hearing about Krishna, they are compared to rat holes, which is the preferred place of residence for snakes. So let us all have really the ear for Krishna. So some people, it seems, they would hang bells in the earlobe. So when somebody is speaking some Gramya Katha, material gossip, they will ring the bell, dun, 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 so that this sound will not go inside. Let us develop that attitude. Let us not waste our time in unnecessary gossip. So in this shloka, Prabhupada is writing many amazing things. I hope you all have read it up. He is quoting a few shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam. I will read them just for our purification. We may not have much time to discuss, but let us read these shlokas. Shrunavatam. See, starts with Shrunu. Shrunu. First, it starts. Shrunavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Again, Shravana. Kirtana. Hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. If you hear Bhagavatam little every day, nityam bhagavata sevaya, nityam. Bhagavata means either Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, both are called Bhagavata. Nityam bhagavata sevaya. By doing that, nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu, all inauspiciousness in your existence because of all past habits and past activities, they are destroyed gradually. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. And amazing, uninterrupted, unmotivated bhakti will arise in your heart. How? Simply by hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita daily. Just by doing that. Shrunu. Reading is also listening. Okay. When you read, Prabhupada is speaking to you. Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada is speaking to you. So that is also equated to Shrunuvatam. Then, Tada rajastamo bhava kama labhodayaschaye lobhadayaschaye chetaye terana vidham sthitam sattve prasidati. Then you elevate from your tamo guna, rajo guna to sattva guna. You overcome kama, lobha, all these qualities. You go beyond tamo, rajo, and then you situate yourself in sattve prasidati. Evam prasanna manaso, with so much happiness in the heart. Somebody who is in sattva is always happy. Brahma bhuta prasannatma, like that. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. By in that mood, is situated in sattva guna. If you are constantly hearing about Krishna, about Srimad Bhagavatam, then you become liberated from all material attachments. The source of suffering, the source of rebirth, you become free from that. Vidyate hridaya granthi, there is a granthi. Granthi means knot. Hridaya granthi, there is a knot in our heart. What is that knot? The soul is tied to the body. That is a knot in the heart. Hridaya granthi. The soul is tied to the body, our body, and from our body, it is tied to so many other bodies. My wife, my father, my brother, my son, my sister, my grandchildren, like that. So many knots. That's Hridaya granthi. Vidyate, that is cut. Vidyate hridaya granthis chidyante sarva samsaya. All the misgivings in the heart, they are removed. Kshiyante chasya karmani drishta evatmanishvare. When you see your soul as non-different It's a part and parcel of Krishna. Once you see that, all these results come to you. So this is all starting from Shrunuvatam Swakatha Krishna. So that is the message that Prabhupada is giving to us. So from the 7th chapter onwards, until we cover the 12th chapter, Krishna is going to speak more and more about himself. And no other method is as effective as Shravanam, hearing about Krishna. No other method. Nishkamya karma, karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, dhyana yoga, or whatever else you have, they are all ineffective. This bhakti yoga, through the process of Shravanam, is the highest. Because just by hearing about Krishna, impurities in your hearts are being washed off. Hearing about Krishna, you get so much happiness. So it's a happy process of purifying your heart. Is there any other happy process? The jnani or the yogi who is sitting tight-lipped and tightly shutting the eyes, sitting in the middle of the forest, contemplating on all kinds of material pleasures, but still struggling to keep away. Is it a pleasure? There's no pleasure there. But here, you connect with Krishna and you unconsciously disconnect with matter. How joyful it is. So that's what the message is. Okay. So second shloka. Jnanam teham sabijnanam idam bhakshyami asheshatah yajñatva neha bhuyonyad jnatavyam avashishyate. Within bracket, you can see what I have written. Knowing Krishna, the cause of all causes, you know all. This is the message of this shloka. Krishna says, I will teach you now not only the full knowledge of the external world, phenomenal world, which is observed by our senses. The phenomenal world is observed by our senses. Not only I will tell you about that, but I will also tell you the secret behind that, how it is operating, who is running that, what energies are running that. And then I will also teach you how I am both of them, not only the phenomenal world, but the numinous energy behind that, both are under my control. So Krishna will say, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everything is controlled and operated by me and permeated by me. I am infilling everything. That's what Krishna is saying. So there is nothing to be known beyond this. So the Vedas say, Mundakopanishad, Kasmin Bhagavo Vijñāte Sarva Vidam Vijñātam Bhavati. Vivekananda used to quote this very often. He would say, scientists are trying to discover so many things. What is the use? Hundreds of years they are discovering, rediscovering, they are finding their conclusions were wrong, they are refining it further, going on. But our Vedas are saying, we are not interested. We are not interested in making external observations. We are interested to know the person who is making the observations. That is self. Who am I? Who am I who is observing all these things outside? So once you know the observer, observations are automatically known. So the observer is the soul, and the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. So Krishna is the cause of all causes. Once you know that, everything is known to you. So that is what this shloka is telling us. Third shloka. Each of the shlokas, as I always say, we can discuss for hours. But then maybe we'll do it in the next round. Now we will move on. Third shloka. Very, very important shloka. I have given a caption here, you can see. Bhakti is simple, but not easy. Simple, but not easy. This is what Prabhupada is saying here. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvataha. So, in the 7th chapter, you will see so many times Krishna will say, I, me, mine, all these words. And when you hear these words, as a devotee, you will be filled with a sense, a thrill. Oh, the Lord is speaking. The Supreme Personality is speaking. I, me, mine, like that. Krishna is speaking. You become so happy. But those who are envious of Krishna, what will happen to them? Their envy will increase. Why Krishna is talking so much about himself? He's boasting. He's so proud. He's so arrogant. Why does he speak like that? So that you can see the difference between devotee and non-devotee. Devotee, as a part and parcel of Krishna, as his eternal servant, becomes so happy to hear the glories of his master. But these atheists, or the envious people, they cannot stand Krishna talking about me, mine. In the previous 6 chapters also, Krishna used these words, but very, very little. Matpara, like that. Some words he used. Madashraya, these words came. But now onwards, you will hear so much of me, mine, mine, like that. And the devotee becomes so joyful to hear this, the language of Krishna. Because Krishna is speaking to his friend. And if we connect ourselves to that friend through the parampara, then it fills us with joy. Okay, now the question, why should Krishna speak so much about himself? Because he's anxious to bring us to him. He's not interested in boasting in front of us. Come on. Does he need? He is in the spiritual world surrounded by hundreds of crores of Lakshmis. And they are all waiting upon him for his glance. Why should he want my appreciation? Of all, the most fallen, insignificant, less than an ant, I am. And we think, oh, Krishna wants to boast in front of me. What nonsense. So let us have the right frame of mind. Krishna is going to explain about himself because no one else can explain him to us, because no one knows Krishna fully. Only Krishna can reveal himself to us. So out of compassion, Krishna is revealing so that we may develop attraction to him. Our goal of life is to develop attraction to him. Krishna Prema is our goal. So he is helping us to know more about him. We are unable to see him, but we can hear him. By hearing, we can develop attachment to him. So Krishna is pouring out his compassion to us. We should become so joyful and grateful that Krishna is speaking so much to us. Okay, so what is Krishna saying here? Out of many thousands of men, one may endeavor for perfection. So here we are talking about Nishkamya Karma Yogis, Jnana Yogis, Ashtanga Yogis, Dhyana Yogis, all these people. They are trying for perfection. Thousands of men, one may achieve perfection. And out of those people, rarely one, hardly one knows me in truth. That means no one knows me in truth. All these people who are struggling to know the absolute truth, rejecting Krishna, they will never know. They will never know. So here in bracket I am writing, bhakti is not easy as non-devotees claim. Only the other day I was talking to somebody. So he was saying, typically, he's a typical Mayavadi. What he say? Yeah, for those people who cannot concentrate on the formless God, bhakti is a easy path. It's a easy path. Easy path means inferior path. I am a special person. I can take the hard path so that I can achieve a higher goal. Okay, if that is the case, I welcome. A hard path leads to a higher goal, easy path leads to an inferior goal. Yeah, go ahead. All the best to you. But unfortunately, if I am asked to touch my nose, I can touch it like this. Or I can go like this and touch it like this. And if somebody says, whoever touches first will get the prize. Then I get the prize, not this fellow. So, bhakti is not easy, as non-devotees claim. Bhakti is simple. We are agreeing. Bhakti is simple, but not easy. Why do you say it is not easy? If it was easy, then everybody would be doing it. All these people who are meditating on the formless vacuum or some kind of a light or something, why they are struggling like that? How can you develop taste or prema on a formless something? Krishna says, Klesho adhikataraste sham vyakta sakta chedasam. Somebody who is trying to worship the formless, his life will be filled with misery. That's what Krishna is saying. We will see that later on. So, bhakti is not easy. Don't think bhakti is easy. Why? Because we see so many people doing bhakti. There is a nonsense variety of bhakti that Prabhupada says, that they can do. But bhakti means what? Here, Prabhupada is quoting Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhindina Aikantiki Hare Bhaktir Utpadayeva Kalpate. We have to follow the scriptures while doing bhakti. That is the recommended bhakti. Not that I am seeing Krishna, he's always, when I walk, he walks with me, he talks to me, I speak to Krishna, he speaks to me, I feed food from my mouth to him. Before I offer anything, I taste it first because my mood is like Shabari. These kind of crazy people, they are not practicing bhakti. That is not bhakti. The way I want, I will do. I don't care for scriptures. That is for lower people. We are not talking about that kind of bhaktas. We are talking about bhaktas who sincerely want to attain Krishna by following Shruti, Smriti, Purana, the Pancharatri Vidhi. They follow the rules and humbly they practice the path of bhakti. So that is very difficult, Prabhupada says. Very difficult. Why? How we can say that? Because very few people come to this path. How many people are there in ISKCON? In this movement? You can see there are other movements, the formless movements. How many followers are there? Proudly proclaiming, I belong to this mission, I belong to that mission. But in ISKCON, you have very few. Why? Because bhakti is not so easy. Simple, but not easy. So, those who choose the difficult path, let them choose. Let the devotees happily continue with their bhakti. So, we go to the fourth shloka. I think I may have slightly speed up. Bhumirapo nalo vayu kammano buddhi revacha ahankari yamme bhinna pragadarashtada. So, Krishna is saying, everything that exists is my energy. I am the energetic. Shaktiman. I am the Shaktiman. Everything is my Shaktis. That we will see now. All are energies of Krishna. That's what we are going to see. So this fourth shloka, the meaning, earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are the 5 gross elements. Ether means the space. Space is one element. The empty space is one element. So everything is existing within space. The space itself is one element. Then from the earth, from the space comes air. From air comes fire. Fire comes water. From water comes earth. So gradually they are becoming solidified. From space, the least solidified, to earth, the most solidified. We have 5 elements. So these are called the gross elements. And then there are subtle elements. They are called mind, intelligence, and false ego. Mana, buddhi, ahankar. Together these 8 are what? Energies of Krishna. All these, earth, water, fire. Imagine, these are the energies of Krishna. Similarly, our mind, our intelligence, and false ego, what is it? Energies of Krishna. So this is the wealth of Krishna. He has given it to us to use in the form of this body, in the form of this gross body, in the form of subtle body. We are using only Krishna's energy in all our activities. If only we can use this Krishna's energy in his service, our life becomes perfect. But if foolishly I identify myself with this temporary body and I try to serve myself and I violate the desires of Krishna, then I am entangled in this material. So these are the separated, look at these words, Binna Prakriti, Binna, separated from Krishna. So when Krishna wants, he can separate the energy from him. One example is given, cow and milk. It's a transformation of the cow. Milk is a transformation of the cow's blood. But then once it is extracted, you keep it in a pitcher, it is separate from the cow. Or the spider and the web. The spider spun the web from itself, but now the web is outside. The spider is sitting in it. But the web is also a spider. So these are examples of external energy. By the desire of Krishna, the matter has become externalized from him. But it is still the energy of Krishna. Okay? So I can give more explanations. Maybe future classes things will become more clear. But remember, once we have said these 8 things, everything tangible and intangible around you has become now Krishna's energy. That's all. Now, 5th shloka. Apareyam itastvanyam anyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Besides these 8 things, which are separated energies, there is one more superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities. Living entities are what? Souls. My soul, your soul, everybody's soul. The soul. What the souls are doing? They are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So, the unconscious matter around us is the inferior, separated material energy of Krishna. Everything around us, including our own body, our own mind, intelligence, false ego, everything is Krishna's inferior, separated material energies. Energy. But the soul alone is superior energy. Also energy, Prakriti. We are also Prakriti. Please remember, we are Prakriti. We are not Purusha. I hope you know the difference between Prakriti and Purusha. Can anyone quickly say what is Prakriti and what is Purusha? Hare Krishna. Put up your hands. Prakriti and Purusha. Yes, Kalikumar. Yes, unmute yourself.
Yes, Prabhuji, Purusha is the enjoyer and Prakriti is a...
Sorry, Prabhu, I think there is some internet problem. Can't hear you well. Saurabh Prabhu, would you like to say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat. Prabhuji, Prakriti means which we have got from the Krishna, and Purusha means what we have earned through our earned, like we have made ourselves, something like that, Prabhuji. Prakriti means
not quite. Yeah, you have some understanding, but not still complete. Let us see if somebody else can clarify more. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandot pranams, Prabhuji. I think Halikumar Ghosh Prabhu also told what I'm going to say, that Prakriti is the enjoyed and the Purusha is the enjoyer.
Acha, that's what he said. Acha,
yes.
At all. Yeah. So, can you also say one more thing? What is Prakriti and Purusha? Yes, absolutely. One is the enjoyer. Purusha is the enjoyer. Correct? And
yes,
Prakriti is the enjoyed. So, we say Purusha is male, Prakriti is female. This is how it is explained. And of course, you should not think immediately all men are Purushas and all women are Prakriti. It's not like that. Anyone who is enjoyed by Krishna is Prakriti. Krishna is the only enjoyer. He is the only Purusha. But when we think I am the enjoyer, then we are adopting a wrong self-understanding. When I think I am the enjoyer, I am accepting the position of Purusha. But actually I am Prakriti. Krishna is clarifying here. We are all Prakriti. The unconscious material energy is also Prakriti. The superior soul energy is also Prakriti. So whether the soul is in the form of a man or a woman or animal, we are all Prakriti only. I'm not talking about the body, I'm talking about the soul. Soul is also Prakriti only. And Prakriti means enjoyed. So we are meant for Krishna's enjoyment. We are not meant to be enjoyers. We are meant to be enjoyed by Krishna. But when we are enjoyed by Krishna, that fills us with million times greater bliss than what we can try to acquire by our own efforts. When we serve Krishna, because He is the whole and we are the part. So when we serve the whole, the nourishment flows to us and we enjoy. Okay, so here it is very clearly said that soul is a superior energy and it is trying to exploit this material nature. And Prabhupada further clarifies, even the Brahma Jyoti, which is the goal of impersonalist people, those who worship the formless, they want to achieve Brahma Jyoti. That Brahma Jyoti is also a spiritual energy of Krishna. There is also a spiritual energy of Krishna. So when you attain Krishna, you are attaining everything. That Krishna himself says again and again that those who worship me, they get everything. So this is the message of this shloka. There are many more things in the Prabhupada's purports. I would very much recommend all of you to read it. Okay. Let us go to 6th shloka now. एतद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणीति उपधारय अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगता प्रभव प्रलयस्तथा. All created beings have their source in these two natures. So every living entity that you see around you has these two components, the spiritual component and material component. According to Krishna, this is the beginning of knowledge. To accept that everything is a combination of spirit and matter. That is what we have to understand. This is an incompatible combination. Matter is inferior, spirit is superior. It is an incompatible combination, but it exists. That is a material energy. That is a material world. That is a material world. So all created beings means some soul has been put into matter and it is developing a body. So that is what is the understanding of all created beings. So Krishna says, of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know me as both the origin and dissolution. Whether it is matter or it is soul, they have all come from Krishna only. Nothing has come independent of Krishna. So now you know why when you know Krishna, you know everything. When you know Krishna as a person, you know everything. When you know Krishna as formless, then you don't know everything. You still have something not known. But when you know Krishna as a person, that is when everything is known to you. Okay. So 7th shloka. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidastidhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Beautiful shloka it is. There is no truth superior to me, Krishna is saying. So the envious people will say, how can Krishna say such things? He is after all just an ordinary somebody with a form, and the form will perish one day. How can he say all these things? He is a conceited person. He is a proud, arrogant person. That's what they say. But a devotee becomes joyful to hear this. So Krishna says, see how many times he is saying, Matta parataram anyat kinchidastidhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre marigana iva. Again and again he will say, Matta, beyond me. Then he will say, Na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi, again in me, all that be which we see, everything like a pearl necklace. The pearls are strung on a thread, but you don't see the thread. But the pearl necklace exists because of the thread. So Krishna is saying, I am that thread on which all the pearls are existing. But actually, the pearls are also Krishna. The thread is also Krishna. That is the correct understanding. So here, from Prabhupada's purports, I just picked up something. So form means form in this material world. Highest level is Lord Brahma. Brahmaloka is the highest, and Lord Brahma is the highest in this material world. So in terms of form, Brahma is the highest realization. But then what about Krishna? Krishna is Arupam. Krishna is Arupam. What is this Arupam? Arupam means simply he doesn't have a material form. His form is not made of earth, water, fire, air, space. His form is not made of these elements. His form is not made of mind, energy, intelligence. He's beyond that. So we say Arupam. He doesn't have a material form. Because that is the only thing we can say. We cannot explain what is spiritual form to someone who is trapped here. We can only say Krishna doesn't have a material form. But when we say he has no form, people say, oh, he's formless. Not like that. He has a spiritual form. So that is something that we should take deeply in our heart. The deeper you get it into your heart, a better devotee you become. Then you will no longer want to hear anything else. You want to hear only about Krishna. The more you hear about Krishna, Shrunvatam Swakata Krishna, Punyashravana Kirtana, Hridayantasto hi abhadrani, vidunoti suhitsata. All the impurities in our heart will go away. The more you hear about Krishna, that's all, as simple as that. So Krishna is spiritual form, Arupam. But Brahma is material form, he is Rupa. So that is something we have to understand. We'll go to the 8th shloka. Before we go to the 8th shloka, there's a small preamble I have kept here. Now Krishna will begin to elaborate how he is manifesting variegatedness in this material world. In this material world, there's so much variety. This is a separated energy of Krishna. How much variety is there? Krishna will explain that, how it is all coming about. So the material world is a combination of matter and spirit, and both are energies of Krishna. Okay, now we will see. Krishna will beautifully explain. So we will experience Krishna within matter now. Because we are living within matter. So let us try to experience Krishna within matter. So Krishna will say here from shloka number 8. This is a very famous shloka. Prabhupada used to talk about it very often. Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashishuryayoho pranavav sarva vedeshu shabda khe paurusham dushu. I will read up to 12th shloka and then we will discuss. पुण्योगन्ध पृथिव्यां च तेजश्चास्मि विभावसु जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां विद्धि पार्थ सनातनं बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम् बलं बलवतामच्छाहं कामरागविवर्जितं धर्माविरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोऽस्मि भर्तऋषभ ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसस्तामसश्च ये मत्त ये वेति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि. So now let us see what Krishna is saying. So in the 8th shloka, I am the taste of water. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Pure water has a taste. Only someone who was very thirsty will know. When you are very thirsty and you take pure water, you get the taste, and that taste is Krishna. And you can understand anything that does not contain water cannot be tasted. Like stone, you cannot find a taste for stone because it doesn't dissolve in your mouth. Unless something is dissolved in the mouth, you cannot experience a taste. So it is the water which is carrying the taste also. Water has its own taste, but water is also carrying the taste. It is the base for experiencing any kind of taste. So Krishna is saying, I am the taste of water. Prabhupada carried it further. One drunkard came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I cannot give up drinking. What to do? Prabhupada said, don't take it into your life. You should know how to understand things. When Acharya is speaking, we should get the message correctly. So Prabhupada said to the drunkard, who was so helpless, Prabhupada said, it's all right. When you drink that wine, remember, Krishna is the taste of that wine. You think of Krishna when you taste that wine. You think of Krishna as the taste of that wine. And by Prabhupada's mercy, I am sure he slowly became purified. But this is not a recommendation to all the devotees that let me also taste wine and imagine that it is a taste of Krishna. It was under time, place, circumstances, Prabhupada was helping a totally fallen person to come up. Okay, so the taste of water is Krishna, and he's saying the light of the sun and moon. When you see the sun and the moon, you should remember Krishna. Oh, Krishna is the light. Sun cannot have light unless Krishna gave it to him. That means these are all energy of Krishna manifesting through the sun, manifesting through the moon, like that. And he's saying the syllable Om, all Vedic mantras start with Om. Krishna says, I am that Omkar. And I am the sound in ether. There is sound in ether. You see, the sky contains sound. That sound is extracted. The sky is permeated by sound. Krishna says, I am that sound in ether, and I am the ability in man. See, whatever we accomplish in our life, we take credit for it, but Krishna is saying, I am the ability. Then, I am the original fragrance of the earth. These are all very beautiful comments. Prabhupada has given very nice lectures about all these things, but anyway, we'll move on. The smell comes only from the earth. You see, you plant a rose plant here. It is in the mud only, but then it grows up and produces rose flowers and amazing fragrance. Then jasmine flowers, then lotus flowers, they all grow from the earth and they manifest different smells. Or the fruits have amazing smells. From where it comes? It's all coming from the earth. So earth is the original source of smell, fragrance. So Krishna says, I am the fragrance in earth, and by my mystic potency, I manifest that fragrance in different flowers, fruits, and so many objects. Right? So we have to remember, fragrance is Krishna. And heat in fire. Prabhupada says, not only heat in fire, there is heat in our belly also. If the heat in the belly is down, Ayurvedic doctor will say, oh, your fire in the belly is down. That means you cannot digest your food very nicely. If the fire is burning too much, then you get acidity. When the fire is very much down, you have indigestion. So Krishna is the digestive fire also. And I am the penance of all ascetics. So nobody can perform penance unless Krishna is manifesting through them. So we have to understand everything is Krishna. That is the message here. Similarly, Krishna says, I am the original seed of all existence. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. I cannot say, I am very intelligent. By using my intelligence, I have earned everything. But your intelligence is also Krishna's. Only devotees can understand. Others will say, no, how I will agree? It is my own intelligence. So Krishna says, I am the intelligence of the intelligent, the prowess of the powerful men. Powerful men get the prowess from Krishna. So here, Brahman is impersonal. That is the the material energy, the essence of material energy, Brahman, that is impersonal, but Para Brahman. Para means beyond. So Para Brahman is personal, that is Krishna. Para Brahman is Krishna. Brahman is one aspect of Krishna, one energy of Krishna. Para Brahman is Krishna himself. So like that. So 11th shloka, I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. That is real strength, You use your desire for the welfare of others. There is no passion and there is no desire for self-enjoyment. That kind of strength, Krishna says, me. He also says similarly, sex life. Krishna says, I am that sex life, which is only meant for producing nice children for the welfare of the world, not for enjoyment. Nowadays, there is so much sex, but there is no children. People want to have enjoyment in sex, but they don't want to have children. But actually, Varnashrama system, a Grihastha is also considered a Brahmachari only. Why? Because he indulges in sex with his wife only, that too on only prescribed days, and that too after sufficient spiritual preparation, and his only goal is to produce children, God-conscious children. Because souls can elevate themselves only through human form. So it is a duty of husband and wife to give birth to children who are God conscious and give them the avenue to elevate themselves to Krishna. So there is a duty, there is a service to Krishna. That sex, Krishna says, that is me. That is me. Sex which is devoid of, which is not contrary to religious principle. Krishna says, that is me. Third shloka. So Krishna is saying the Sattva, Rajo, Tamo, Guna. These are the three states in which we exist. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo, Guna. Krishna says, they are my energy only. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo, all are his energy. So Krishna says, in one sense, I am everything, but I am independent. This point, please note, I have put it in red here. I am in one sense, everything, but I am independent. This is what non-devotees don't understand. Mayavadis don't understand. Devotees must try to understand. In one sense, Krishna is everything, but he is also beyond everything. He is beyond everything, independent of everything. He is not within the gunas. Even though the gunas are coming from him, he is not affected by the gunas. 13th shloka. So the whole world is confused by the three gunas, so they don't know him. But when you go beyond the gunas, then you will know him. Krishna is above the modes and he is inexhaustible. So we don't know Krishna because we are bound by the three modes of nature. But if we can free ourselves from this bondage, then we will know Krishna. So that is the message. 14th shloka is very, very important. I request all of you to memorize. Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Krishna says, this divine energy of mine, divine energy, which energy? This material energy, this separated inferior energy, Krishna says is divine energy. This sattva, raja, tamo, guna, which is operating this material world, is divine energy because it's the energy of Krishna. So it is very difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered to me can easily cross beyond it. Now, how many of you want to cross this Maya, this Gunamayi Maya, this material world which is consisting of three modes of material nature? How many of you really want to transcend that? And Krishna is giving you the way. Simply surrender to me. You can easily cross beyond it. For others, it is difficult to overcome. So Krishna is saying here, Mam Yeva, again Mam, me. Mam Yeva, Yeva means only, certainly. Mam Yeva, Ye Prapadyante, those who surrender to me, Maya Meta Tarantite, they cross over it. Others cannot do that. So Krishna is saying, those who are deluded by these three energies, they will not know Krishna. So Maya is Devi because it is Krishna's energy. It is serving Krishna. Even though material energy is inferior, we are bound by it. The soul is superior, but the soul is completely under the control of Maya. How? Because it is Krishna's energy. Yes. So the divine energy is very difficult to overcome, but those who surrender can easily cross it. And the 15th sloka is very, very important. Can someone tell me what is the time, please? Unmute yourself. Hare Krishna. What is the time now?
10 past 9. 10 past 9.
Oh, it's already past 9. Okay. So I will close this shloka in 5 minutes. Very, very important shloka actually. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest of mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, who partake of atheistic nature of demons, they do not surrender to me. So Krishna is explaining who finds it difficult to surrender to Krishna. 4 kinds of people. Prabhupada explains like this. Those who are absorbed in material sense enjoyment, thinking this is everything, including heaven. Even those people who think heaven is the highest perfection, they are also called material enjoyers only. And they are called grossly foolish because they don't know I am soul. I have to transcend material world. They don't know. So they are called grossly foolish mudha. They are called mudha. Then Naradama. Naradama means lowest of mankind. Who are these people? They have only socially developed, politically developed, but spiritually undeveloped. That means they are trying to enjoy the material world thinking there is no soul. They have no understanding of the soul. They have no understanding of the God. They are called Nara Adama, lowest of mankind. They may externally appear socially advanced. They may be big, big leaders, big CEOs, politicians, but they don't know God. They are Nara Adama. Unfortunately, we have Naradamas ruling the world today. Yes, they are all Naradamas ruling the world. So then, Mayaya Apahrita Jnana. That means their intelligence is stolen by Maya. Who are these people? They are the speculators saying, oh, God has no form, ultimately everything is Shunya, or ultimately everything is one. There is no soul and super soul, there is only one soul. These kind of mental speculators, they don't accept the scripture. They are called Mayaya Apahrita Jnana. And ultimately, Asuram Bhavam Ashrita. Those who have Asuric, demoniac nature, who are they? Atheists. The atheists simply deny God. So they are atheists. All these 4 kinds of people do not surrender to Krishna. So with that, we come to the end of today's session. Tomorrow we will try and see next week who are the people who come to Krishna. That is very, very interesting. That we will see next week. Thank you very much. So now we will chant the Mahamantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandvat pranams. Thank you Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So any comments, any doubts?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat. Prabhuji, you told that for soul, human body means soul is there in everywhere, na Prabhuji, plants but human body, it goes to Bhagavad Dham. You mean like that? Na? Very great, sir, Prabhuji. I understood it today, na? So we need like human beings.
We have taken birth in so many bodies already. Sometimes we were animals, sometimes we were plants, sometimes we were aquatic, sometimes we were birds. We have taken insect forms, bacteria, all these things we have been. 84 lakh species, but ultimately we get a human form. We have to use it properly. The only body in which we can get God is human form. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Brahmanda Brahmite, not that. Bharata Bhumite Haila Manusya Janma Yara. In this Bharata Bhumi, if you have got a human form, you are extremely fortunate. Because not only you have a human form, but you are also in the Bharata Bhumi. You can perfect your life. Janma Sartaka Kori, Karo Paropakar. You perfect your life by accepting the scriptures and then help others to accept the scriptures. So this is the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to all of us Indians, Bharatwashis. He says, Bharata Bhumite Haila Manusya Janmaya. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And Krishna is addressing us, saying, Bharata Bhumite Haila, Manushya Janma Yara. You have got human form, that too in Bharata Bhumi. Janma Sarthaka Kori. You perfect your life. Karo Paropakar. You serve others. That is the goal of life. We are not here to enjoy our life, make money, go for malls and theaters and multiplexes and enjoy our life and one day die. We have not taken birth for that purpose. We have to perfect our life and go back to Krishna and take others with us when we go. That is the message. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, one more question I have.
Yes.
Yeah. Like for all material 8 things, how we can use false ego to serve God, like other things. So false ego is also part of Prabhu Krishna. Na? So how we can use that to serve Krishna?
Very nice question. I am so glad this question occurred to you. That means you are on the right track. See, what is false ego? False ego means I am this body. Okay, this body is my instrument, but I am identifying myself with the instrument. That is what is called false ego. I should know I am a soul, I am dwelling in this body. That is a correct understanding. I should also know that I am a servant of Krishna. But when I think I am this body, then a whole lot of problems are starting. What is starting? The moment I think I am the body, then I say I want to enjoy this body. And I have my senses. My senses are saying, oh, enjoy in this way. Eyes are saying something, mouth is saying something, hands are saying something. So I am misled. But the same false ego you take, that I am this body. But with this body, you start serving Krishna and devotees.
Correct, Prabhuji.
And that is what Prabhupada will say, make the best use of a bad bargain. You can write it down. Make the best use of a bad bargain. Now, Krishna is eternal, and to serve Krishna, you need an eternal body, right? But unfortunately, we don't have an eternal body. We have a temporary body. So this is a bad bargain. We have a bad bargain. But with this bad bargain, you serve Krishna.
Correct.
Krishna will give you a perfect spiritual body with which you can serve him eternally. So that same false ego, you surrender it to Krishna. That is all that we have to do. This false ego we have to surrender to Krishna. Then what will happen? The false ego will transform into true ego. This is all energy of Krishna, you see. This is separated energy of Krishna, correct? We saw that. This material energy is separated energy of Krishna by the will of Krishna. By the will of Krishna, this is separated. But when you use the false ego to surrender to Krishna, it is transformed into spiritual energy.
Correct.
The same separated energy becomes connected energy.
Correct.
Yeah. When you connect the false ego to Krishna, then it is no longer false.
Prabhu.
Hare
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat.
Thank you. Dandavat. Any other questions? Okay. So thank you very much. We'll meet again next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna. Yes,
the session was so excellent. It was very nice, actually. I really enjoyed the session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai.
Dandavat pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.